Hi, I'm Julie Morgan, and today I'll be presenting some Blackboard tips and tricks for instructors to help you have an easier time. Today we're going to talk about how to make classes favorites, and also how to hide really old classes. We'll also go over how to add an image to your profile or an avatar, and how to make an instructor profile in a class, as well as how to add a link like Calendly. We'll go over how to make announcements fun by adding images and videos, and how to double check your gradebook to make sure that your categories and due dates are spot on. We'll also briefly go over rubrics and how to do substantive grading, as well as how to arrange course content to make it easy for students to navigate your course, especially if you're setting up a new course. Let's get into it. How to favorite. First, in courses, you'll see all of your courses when you first log in, everything all spread out. So if you find the courses that you're currently enrolled in, that will tell you, this will tell you the month and the year and the sequence that it started. For example, if you started in January of 2023, it's recommended that you favorite all courses with the Jan 23 in the course number. You can do this by clicking on the little star. I'll show you what I mean. So in this is the tile. Whether you have your courses in a list view or a tile view like I show here, this little star at the end of the list view and at the bottom corner of the tile view, simply click on it and it turns purple, and that makes it a favorite. As you can see here, here's the 2023. January 2023, and I've made this a favorite. This comes up to the top of all of my courses. Let me show you what I mean. So here's a view of all of my courses, and you can see down below here, these are 2021, 2022, down below, and then up above I have all my 2023 courses, and they've been made favorites. I also advocate for making favorites of the Instructor Resource Depot, and if you're teaching hybrid or online, the Online Writing Center, all found in Blackboard. So what do you do when courses are 2, 3, sometimes even 5 years old? Well, you can hide them. Locate the course that you wish to hide. Hover the mouse or cursor over the photo of the course, and 3 dots will appear in the top right corner of the course picture. Click on those 3 dots and you'll see an option to hide the course. Select Hide Course. Now you can always go back and filter your hidden courses and unhide them if for some reason you need to get back into that course. Or just view the course under courses you've hidden by filtering hidden courses. So they're not really gone, they're just not apparent. You don't have to see them every day. Makes it a lot easier, especially if you've been with the PIMA a long, long time. Another great thing to do to get students engaged is adding a photo to your profile. Your profile is a little picture that shows up every time you do something in Blackboard. And so it's great to put a picture that's a reflection of you, either your bright and shining face or flowers if you like to garden, or if you're with a veterinary program, you might have a picture of a great puppy or kitty. If you're with dental, maybe a smiling faced emoji. So something that reflects you. So what you want to do is when your main page, it'll say institutional page at the top, and right below it will be your name. You click on your name, and that's going to take you to this page. Here you'll see your basic information, and this is your profile page. This is also where you can change your password, and you can add pronunciation and set your notifications that you want to see. To add a photo, you can see the photo of me that I've added here. You hover your mouse over the photo. If you've never added a picture before, there'll simply be an outline of a silhouette of a head. So hover your mouse over it, and this little pencil icon will appear. Click on the pencil, and then you'll get a drop-down menu. And in that drop-down menu, it'll look like this. If you go to upload new profile picture, you can hit, if you've already got a profile picture and you just want to change it, you can hit the little trash, and then you can hit here. You can upload new profile picture, and then that will take you into your computer, and you can go to your images and pick an image from your computer. It's super easy. This is what the result looks like. This is from one of my discussion posts. So an instructor in one of my online courses, and your image shows here, and it's a way to connect with your student. Sometimes I put flowers in if it's spring. Sometimes I'll put like Happy Valentine's Day if we're in February. Other times I may put I love public health, or I love respiratory care, depending on what I'm teaching, what the subject is, and what's going on. So here's my image. This appears in my discussions, my alerts, any notifications, journals, blogs, all those things in Blackboard. So notice this, I want to talk briefly about this little flag. This is from a discussion post that a reply I did to a student. And when you do replies in discussion posts, I advocate for putting, if you hit the little flag, you're able to easily count and see who you've posted to in discussions and who you have left to post to. Our policies for both hybrid and online state that in the first discussion we need to post to everyone in the first discussion, and this is a way to keep track, to see easily if you've posted to everyone. And then in every subsequent discussion we need to post to over half. I really try to keep track of who I've posted to so that I kind of evenly distribute my posts between all of the students. And by using flags, I can easily see who I've posted to the week before. So I do advocate for just hitting this little flag on your posts. So in each course, in just below tools is your instructor contact. So what's really great about this is once you make a great contact, you can course copy just the contact from one course into another. So I encourage you to take time to make an awesome contact in your instructor in one of your courses. So on the course menu, select instructor and click on it. And then at the top, select create contact. Or if you've already got a contact, but you want to beef it up, you can select edit in the drop-down box as pictured here. So creating a contact. On the create contact page, boxes to fill will come up. So you can see that your title, and I have just Ms. as my title, Jilly Morgan, my first and last name, and then behind my last name I have my master's degree, Master's of Science, and then RRT. I'm working on my PhD. I don't quite have it yet, but when I get it, I'll put it in there. I've also included ways for students to contact me. So I've got my email, my work phone, my office location, so where I am, and then office hours, which are by appointment only. So I've included a Calendly link. Calendly is a great way. It's a free program. It'll give you a half-hour link. And for me, it works out really well. I can give specific hours for when I'm available, and it links to my schedule. The only caveat is you've got to keep your schedule up in your Outlook or Google. So I make sure that I add my classes when I'm teaching actual class to that Calendly. And I do encourage students, if they can't find time on Calendly, to talk to me personally. Just reach out via email and I'll find a time to get with them for tutoring. Select yes. That's really important to make the profile available to students. If you don't select yes, it defers to no. So you want to make sure that you do that. And then select a browse to search for an image to attach to your profile. Now here in this, you can see that I was put in my graduation photo for my master's degree with my daughter Megan, and I explained that in a few words. You have about 266 characters in the notes section, and what I like to do is explain a little bit about what I teach, a little bit about my teaching philosophy. And when you put your teaching philosophy in there, make sure that you state, this is my teaching philosophy, and then what it is. And then I like to add a little bit of personal information about me, that I have grown-up children, that my husband is also an instructor, and that I've got a couple of really feisty little chihuahuas at home, and a few things I love to do like read and garden. So don't be afraid to let your students know a few of the things that you love. And a personal link, it can go, if you don't use Calendly, you can add a link to your professional association, like the American Association of Respiratory Care, or the OTA or MA Association. So something that is important for you, or the APHA, the American Public Health Association. Those are links that can be added there if you don't use something like Calendly. So I encourage you to do that for your students. I love to make my announcements fun. I want to grab my students' attention by adding a picture or a little cartoon or graphic image. I'll even make some of my own images using or little cartoons or little videos, and add them to my announcements. And what's great is you can do that with the Add Content button, which is this little plus sign at the top. When you go in to make an announcement, the little plus sign, if you click on it, this Add Content menu will come up. And if you hit Insert Local Files, anything you've saved to your computer, you can add there. So this could be a great image, a little GIF, like congratulations, you're done with class, or welcome, that's flashing. In this case, I added an awesome you are, thank you, an image of Yoda. You can also add, a lot of times I add a stop sign or other symbol image, something that is under, uh, that is easily available. You can also add little videos as well. So with this, so let's take a look at how to add a video, an easy way to add a short video. So you can also add a YouTube video. So or Panopto. So I really like to do a weekly announcement where I make a video. I use a little PowerPoint. I have my picture in the corner. I talk about what's coming up for the week briefly in a minute or two, and then I add that video to my Panopto for my course and put that into an announcement. And so you can do that here with Add Content. You not only can you add a Panopto video that you've done for your announcement instead of writing everything out, but you can also add a YouTube video. Let's say that this week that you're talking about how to restrain a dog. You can add a video about restraining an animal, a dog. So, and add that video into your announcement about what you'll be doing that week. I do recommend, if you're adding YouTube videos and you are not the one that made the video, that when you add a YouTube video, there are links that you can look at on the YouTube video. Here's what they look like. Here's the link. So if you click on this link, it will open another window and you can watch the YouTube video and see if that's really the video you want. So in this case, I was looking at wrapping a kitten and just looked at the first one and it wasn't very professional. I didn't want it. I finally, about 3 or 4 down, I found one that looked very professional and that was short. And so once you find one, you hit select and then that will go into your announcement. So here is this video that's now in my announcement. And when the students see this, all they have to do is click the watch video. One more thing about announcements, make sure if it's something just for that week or just for that day that you limit, that you put in a date limit. Or if it's something that you want them to see immediate, that you send it out immediately, and also date limit. I try to keep announcements from piling up because that seems to confuse students. There are a few announcements like how to do a great discussion post or rubrics, how to get the most out of your assignments, things like that that I feel are really important, or our late policy that I will not, that I'll leave in the announcements. But there's only a few like that that I'll leave in the announcements. Most of them are meant for a certain week. Some I leave up for a week, some I'll leave up for 2 days. So I do limit it so that the students' announcements don't get cluttered. So do use that feature. Let's talk a little bit about gradebook, about having an awesome gradebook. So you want to make sure before you start a class that you go into Blackboard and you check your gradebook. You want to double check categories and due dates, and there's a super easy way to do that. So once you set all your due dates, you've set your weighted categories, you've got everything ready to go, and you think you're all done, you should do one last double check by going into Full Grade Center and then going into the top and hitting Manage, and a drop-down caret will come. So then you want to choose Column Organization and click on it. This is what you'll see. You'll see all of the assignments, and if they're not arranged in something that makes sense, like you can see here, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, you can see that everything is arranged in something that makes sense. Here are the categories. There's a weighted total, there's a total, there's a percentage grade, a letter grade. In many of my classes, I simply have a weighted grade that has both a percentage and a letter grade set for that. But in this case, they've got all of those columns. And these make sense. You can see that for every week, I've got a discussion, a test, and an assignment. And my dates make sense. So all of my categories make sense. And I check these against my current syllabi. And then all of my due dates make sense. They start at the start of my class and they end at the end of my class, the current class, and they go in order. On occasion, I've found one that looks out of whack, and I've been able, before the class starts, to deal with that due date that isn't correct. So this is a simple double check, an easy way to find categories that may be off or due dates that may be off, or even an assignment that seems out of order. Rubrics. I love rubrics. I love grading with rubrics. Rubrics make grading consistent for both you. They help the student understand what you're actually grading on. And when they lose points, it makes it really easy for me to show why they've lost points. So I can, for instance, if they've lost, I can put -2, main ideas were not supported with appropriate evidence. I have a really nice case assignment rubric and case studies that I do in a couple of different classes. It's one that I love, and I've been able to export it from the class that I developed it in and import it into another class where we use the same book but different chapters, and I can use the same case for case studies in that book. So it's really nice to be able to import and export a really great rubric and not have to reinvent the wheel. So what you want to do to import and export. So here is one of my classes, happens to be a pulmonary rehab class where I've developed a brochure, I've used a discussion rubric, a general assignment rubric, a PowerPoint grading rubric, and a video presentation grading rubric that I've developed. Now let's say that in another course I want to be able to have them do a short Panopto video in another course. I don't have to redo the wheel. I can simply check the box here and then hit export. And a little box will come up and I'm able to download this to my desktop for just long enough to get into I open a new window, get into my other class, and then I use this import rubric function. I click on import, I find that rubric in either downloads or on my desktop and import it into the new class, into the rubric section. Rubrics are under course tools and they are listed as rubrics. So in this course tools section, they are in alphabetical order and listed as rubrics. And once you import it, you should see it in the new course, just like here. So finally, setting up course content. Creating folders. Folders are a great way to group content. And some courses, we use folders for similar content or to put all the content for week 1, week 2, week 3. So what you can do is under course content and build content on the right of the drop-down box under the words new page, select content folder. That's right up here. So build content, here's course content. I'm in course content, build content, click on that little caret, and then a drop-down menu will come up and you want to hit content folder. And then you can create a folder in this course content section. You can see that I have required video lecture links, I've got my class Zoom link, and I've got folders for week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's take a look at what's in week 1 for this class. So this is a view of the first week of one of my on-ground classes. You can see that even when the students are on ground, we use Blackboard extensively. We don't take any handwritten work. They turn everything into Blackboard. Also, Blackboard is a way for them to be able to electronically take notes. Here's a PowerPoint for them. Now, this is a plain black and white PowerPoint. It's easy for them to take notes on and follow along with. You can see that the teacher PowerPoint that I've uh, dressed up in Designer in PowerPoint in 360. Um, it's just for me. It's hidden. The students don't see this. Every week what they see is this overview, their textbook reading, what's going on. These are taken straight from the syllabi. These are how we're meeting objectives from their syllabi, and then the next steps to do because this is the first week. So I want them to look at their syllabi. I want them to go through and do their reading quiz and their assignment. So their reading quiz is a formative quiz, so it is 15 questions pulled from a pool on the chapter that we're looking at that week. They can take it as many times as they want until the due date, but those questions are pulled randomly from a pool, and that's done one at a time and randomized again. Then there's a week 1 assignment. You can see there's clear instructions here. I've asked them to, because there are answers in their book, to be sure to answer the questions first. After reading the chapter, answer the questions, and then go back and show their corrections, as well as put page numbers of where they found the answers. So this assignment each week is arranged in this order: PowerPoint, quiz, and then assignment. They can find things easily, and things are clearly labeled. Week 1 assignment, reading quiz week 1, PowerPoint, and what book it is from and what chapter. So things to remember: provide an overview, make items easy to find, clearly label your items, and hide instructor things that are for you. I tend to make one folder and keep all my tests in my summative tests in one folder where I keep them hidden. The whole folder is hidden. And then I only take the test out for the test time, and then I re-hide, move it back. I use the move function, move it out and move it back in, because all of our testing is done with lockdown browser, with in-person oversight, no cell phones, things like that. So, but it's all done through Blackboard. So all of our testing is done through Blackboard as well, with lockdown browser and with oversight by us in one of our computer labs. So hide those tests. In summary, we went over how to favorite and hide your classes, hide your really, really old ones, and favorite your ones that you're currently teaching, how to add a image to your profile, to connect with students, how to make an instructor profile in your class so students know how to contact you, how to use a link like Calendly, or how to add a link to AARC or other professional organizations, how to make your announcements fun and add videos, GIFs, and pictures, how to double check your gradebook, make sure the categories and due dates are all correct before your course ever starts, how to do summative grading with a great rubric, how to import and export rubrics, and how to organize course content. Thank you for your time today, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.